Alright. In the bottom, playing as Sedge in the black, we've got Zested 43 versus Disobeyed, playing Sedge in the orange. So this is a pretty classic matchup on Headland, because yeah, Sedge was really popular. There was especially one version of this map where Sedge was like undeniably the best commander. This is back in Wargroove 1, of course, but yeah, seeing Sedge on Headland is a fairly common occurrence. He just happens to get groove at like about the right time where armies start engaging with each other. So yeah, it works out quite well. And there's an interesting feature in this map. There's this like chopped forest here that can bloom into one for the lumber mill, which I don't know, it's kind of weird because like, you know, you're only getting like the extra gold every turn, and it's a little bit finicky. It adds a little bit more time that you have to spend. I kind of wish there was like maybe one or two more chopped forests there, but it is what it is. Anyway, what are we seeing so far? Capturing the north quarter. Ooh, didn't knock down this village, so we're seeing a bit of the difference here between the two players. Oh, Sedge gonna get this knockdown on this village. And actually gonna go commander versus commander. That is pretty spooky. Not typically something you see a lot of this early. I like that air trooper. Come along, and now this is some really nice knight positioning actually. Like if you go for the hit on Sedge, the knight can crit in return. And actually, if commander goes in to fight that, they just die. Oh wow, Sedge being pretty brave here, standing on the river, but there's nothing to follow that up, so they're actually in a good place. Going for the capture there. I mean, I guess it's fine. It's really difficult to attack into that. Oh, but Zested's actually going to go for it anyway, and they're going to hit the village with Sedge. Interesting. Okay, they're just going to have air troopers sitting back, covering against, you know, the knight going in, and yeah, they're going to go for that return. I don't know if that's the best, but oh wow, we see the Sedge versus Sedge teleport action going on right there. Disobeyed, putting on a nice aggressive front. What can Zested do here? They've got their knight in position now. Getting a mage to come forward as well. And I think Zested's just a little bit on the back foot. You're gonna see Sedge kind of back up here. Don't know about that dog sitting in that forest, but we'll see how that plays out. Disobeyed. They're just gonna kind of create like a sort of standoff situation up the top left. Not gonna force anything too hard. Okay. Right, dragon came out, so that makes sense that you would want to back up against that. That is quite spooky. There isn't a lot of anti-air. It's actually a very common trope in, I guess trend would be the better words. Common trend in Headland is that you don't really build too many mages early because knights are so strong early on. And then your opponent builds an air unit and you're just like, well, I don't have any air, anti-air at all on the map, so let me just back up real quick. And that seems to be the case here. Disobeyed. You know, they had a little bit of a nice eco lead for a bit, but they're backing up, they're facing a dragon. Zested did a good job of staying back and banking and making sure they actually had enough to build a dragon when it really counted. I like this, positioning the knight to get a crit next turn. And they're going to start putting pressure on the sides while the dragon kind of sits in the center. And yeah, it is vulnerable to getting hit by a harpy right now, but trading a harpy into a dragon that won't die or even come close to dying is not really worth it. And I like this. Disobeyed. Basically, like, they're mirroring each other. Zested going for the right hand village with their knight, Disobeyed going for the left hand with theirs. There's a little back and forth shifting on this map. Neither player really wants to push the advantage just yet. Which, actually 2 witches come out. That's pretty scary, especially when you got Sedge. Oh, Zested's just like, I'm gonna push and do some damage with my dogs. And they're getting ready to really just fight up in this corner. They have to be super careful because those witches can one-shot this dragon, of course. And even builds a witch of their own. It's mostly, I think, going to be used for defending the dragon from the opposing witches, but being able to hack your opponent's army is quite nice too. And yeah, we see as this army pushes up on this left, Disobeyed goes to the right. And we're going to see this back and forth a bunch, I think. Until one player really just opens up an opportunity to win the game. Or at least gain a significant advantage. Instead, we see the first frog has come out. I actually don't know how this is going to play out. Like, I think it would be useful, but on the flip side, I'm not entirely sure how. Ooh, gets the kill on the witch. Zested spots an opening. And they're just going to keep pushing on this left-hand side. Lots and lots of stuff coming forwards. Oh, even takes a bit of damage on that knight. Alright, Sedge going to get that knocked down 95%, so yep, that will do. It's, yeah, 100%. Sedge has groove. I'm not seeing the animation though, which is interesting. And this is turning into a very long game, actually. I say that as a whole bunch of stuff is starting to die, but yeah, lots of damage coming in. Disobeyed pushing down on that bottom right hand side, and we see the first hex. Is Sedge actually gonna walk in and hit the opponent's Sedge? Oh, Disobeyed. They're very confident right now. And you know, should they be? This is extremely brave. Alright, our troopers going in. More and more damage. That's a lot of extra units you can suicide onto Sedge though. Is there a lethal here? I would assume there is. Yeah, first hole gets opened. That's a whole bunch of units that can now suicide. Ooh, mage heal as well. Air trooper. What, like 66%, something like that. It's gonna do a nice little chip of damage into Sedge. 71%. Sword's gonna follow up. That's gonna be what, like another 7%? Another nice chunk of damage. Yep, another 7% right there. Just getting some more kills to pads. Big mage heal comes in. I think Sedge is just dead, yeah. One knight plus commander will do it at this point. Disobeyed. Just like, I don't know if they panicked or just decided that this would be a safe, aggressive option, but I think they were doing fine. They were pushing on that bottom right side. They were kind of stalling this left-hand side, so yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. Just, I guess like a little bit of frustration or just overconfidence. But the moment they started hitting stuff and weakening it was like really when the game was over. And you can just like walk in, park your units there if you're going to do that, but yeah, I don't know. That felt like very overly ambitious, I guess you could say. And yeah, like your opponent has a mage nearby, a bunch of weak units. Your commander's gonna die. Especially, you know, if you've got like a knight and Sedge. But yeah, Zested takes it. GG.